Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about how I got out of my procrastination cycle. So, I'm a university student and there are like a lot of tasks that I have to do as a university student. That of course includes having to do assignments, assessments, and of course the daily life agendas as well. And due to this, due to the overloading of tasks, or so as I perceive, I often tended to procrastinate things over. And I don't just procrastinate over certain tasks which I have to deal as a university student, but I would also procrastinate over any task that has to be up on that priority list. So let's say that I have a certain task that is super important and has an impact. Then let's say that I have to get it done in a week. Then what I intend to do is I will just keep the entire task and till the deadline is near, else I will not even start the task. So this can actually cause major problems in the long run, and it was really difficult to deal with in the beginning of days as a university student. Okay, I messed this sentence. I had to say that during the beginning years as a university student, procrastination was a real problem for me. I would procrastinate over any task. And so the solution, I'll get back to the solution in a minute, but it's quite difficult because it's not just about a single day that you're procrastinating, and you take in procrastination as a habit, and when it comes to you as a habit, it's really difficult to get out of. And to deal with this problem, I took a certain steps, so that's what I'm talking about in this video. And so the first thing I did to get out of this whole mess of procrastination was simply to clean my room. So many people will find it as a joke, but what I'm really trying to focus on here is that your environment does have an impact over your daily actions, and if your environment is motivating you to actually procrastinate your task, then you will procrastinate your task. So if you are someone who is suffering from procrastination, then the first thing you have to make sure is that your environment is not really the factor that's motivating you to procrastinate. Because a lot of times, so let's say I'm myself a university student, and I live in the university dorm in boys hostel, and by experience I can tell you that the boys in hostel, we don't really care much about the condition of our rooms, and most of the times it's pretty bad. So it's pretty bad, and the thing is, what I found was that having an environment that actually motivates you towards procrastination can have dire effects in your day-to-day life. So the first thing I noticed was that whenever my room is clean and I have everything in place, but then I tend to be more productive that day than any other day where my room would look like a mess. And whenever I get in front of the table, I'll just look around the room. No, not happening today. So the first thing I wanted to focus on was to really work on your environment, and I worked on my environment, and that really helped. So you can take it as a gentle advice, or you can just neglect it as someone who is trying to speak out what he thinks worked for him. And after this step, what I realized was that I was not really doing a task because the task was humongous, and I had a lot of goals set which were not actually in my control. And when the task that I'm doing do not converge to a goal that I'm in control of, you actually don't even feel like starting it. At least I didn't feel like starting it, because I like thinking of the amount of time and the effort that will go into a task that may or may not really guarantee my goal actually isn't that motivating at all to start a certain task. So what I decided to do was break down my goals into a set of achievable goals. And by achievable, I meant the goals that you are in control of. As an example, I can tell you, let's say that I have an assessment next week. Let's say I have an assessment of mathematics next week. Then, if I set my goal that, okay, I have to score a perfect 100 out of 100 in mathematics, then that becomes an achievable goal. And now, not in sense of that you cannot score 100 in mathematics exam, but in the sense that you aren't really in control of those 100 marks. Something that you are in control of is that you can actually finish the syllabus given to you on mathematics for the given assessment. So if you set up your goal so that you feel that you are more in control of, then you are more than likely to take action on that goal, because that goal is much more achievable. And I also noticed the same thing with let's say my blogs. And when I will target that, okay, this blog should probably be generating this amount of revenue per month for me, then I will not even start working on that blog. But if I say to myself that my goal is to actually write this many articles on my blog, then that becomes much easier for me to deal with, because that's something I can really accomplish and is totally under my control. So that's the second thing I wanted to focus on. So the two things that I've talked about was, first, I set up my environment correctly. So a bad environment will give you bad vibes, and that does not really motivate you to actually take your actions. So the next thing I discussed right now was so the next thing that I discussed was to set achievable goals that you are in control of. Now these two steps don't really solve the problem totally at all. So what happens is, as you are a procrastinator, as I'm a procrastinator, you don't really start the work, and I don't really feel like starting a work, even though after I have set my goals to be in achievable chunk, it's really hard to take the actions. So for solving this, what I found to be effective for me was start with very basic things. And when I say basic, I mean super basic. So what we tend to do is, in most of the cases, we try to skip the basics and directly look to achieve the advanced what we say, can I say the advanced aspects? Okay, I'll just use any word there. So what we tend to do is we overlook the basic activities in our day-to-day life and focus on more complex things directly. And when your daily routine is already messed up due to being a procrastinator, that is not really a step that would help you to get out of the procrastination cycle. So what I did was I started with a very small task. The task that I started with was just that whenever I wake up, I'll brush my teeth. So yeah, that's the task I started with. And it was not like I would not brush my teeth when I wake up or something. I would someday procrastinate brushing to, like, okay, so if I wake up at 6 in the morning, I'll procrastinate it to, let's say, before I go to the college. And so the thing that I started with was brushing my teeth, as I told. So what happened was, whenever I woke up, I remembered that the only important thing today for me is to brush that teeth. And so I woke up daily, and I would just go to the bathroom and I would just brush my teeth. And I forgot to mention something here. There was something that assisted me with keeping track of my minor goals, and that was having a small whiteboard just behind my bed where I sleep, and I will tell you that that's the most wisely spent, $10, I guess, wisely spent $10 in my life, because I think it's a super boon, and it has massively helped me work through my procrastination. So okay, and so how that helped me was that, okay, so tomorrow I have to wake up and brush my teeth. So what I would do is today night I would just put on the mark that, okay, so the task for tomorrow is that I have to brush my teeth. So I would write brush my teeth, date, okay. And whenever I wake up, I make sure that I have a look at the whiteboard. That's the smallest commitment I had to do. And okay, I have to brush my teeth. I did brush my teeth, and I'm done. And so starting with the basic step, I added up other small tasks, like, okay, so I have brushed my teeth, let me get myself some fresh air. So I would anyhow do 150 sprints a day, and I would go and take a walk. And I was able to make it happen, because in the other days I used to discuss with my friends, okay, yeah, I should do this, but we didn't really make it happen, because even if we made it happen, we were just, okay, today we went for a run, but tomorrow, it's gone again. So the next thing I added to that was a really important step, and that was that I will not touch my smartphone whenever I wake up and before going to bed. and honestly I managed to pull it off. And that's the one of the biggest achievement I have had by following through these steps. Because I'm really whenever I wake up fresh, and my eyes don't feel like I'm feeling headache or something like that. And yeah, it really enlightens your day up. Please, if you can, you should try this too. Do not touch your smartphone before going to bed and just after waking up. So that's the third thing that I accomplished. And after this, the task that I accomplished was so what I accomplished was I would just meditate for 10 minutes. I managed to increase the amount of time as the days moved up. But yeah, you have to notice here that I didn't start directly with okay, I have to study the 15 topics of mathematics today, or I have to just finish up the Flutter course that I have started. That's not how I began with. Little by little, it became like a habit to me that okay, I have to wake up, I won't touch the smartphone, I won't touch this, I'll go there, I'll take the walk, I'll come back. And like forming a habit, I think that's the solution to procrastination. And this is one of the biggest conclusion of my today's video. What helped for me was setting up habits. And after this, what I did was I was pretty much good with my general lifestyle, like the way I used to live before. I was much in the blues, meaning like I was doing much positive works right now. And then what other thing that helped me was I also managed to schedule my academics. So let's say that I have to work on a certain topic in mathematics, or a certain topic in programming, or any other topic. I would never start with like okay, I have to finish an entire book, or I have to finish this, because that's quite a bigger task that I might just procrastinate and not even start. So I started with smaller units. As I said, we should not skip the basic steps while trying to actually work our way through procrastination. And that really helped. I did manage to do really well with catching up with my syllabus. And as things moved up, I was basically able to automate things. Like, yeah, I would know that I have to do this, then I have to do this, and I have to read this. Though I didn't really stop to like, okay, whenever I wake up, I have to look at what I have to do today by looking at the whiteboard. And yeah, that's pretty much some of the basic steps that I took that helped me get out of procrastination. And some other thing that I would like to add here is that it's really about how we maintain ourselves. And I know that it's quite difficult to deal with procrastination because there's really no way out. You feel that you're more lazy, or perhaps that you aren't really in control of whatever is happening in your life. And when you feel that you aren't actually in control of your life, it's quite difficult to deal with your day-to-day life. That can as well cause depression, anxiety, and some mental issues, and things can get quite complicated. But as I said, I think that we should focus more on the basic steps, and I think that we can really work out. I think I'm going to make a follow-up video on this because this is my first video, and I don't really know like how good I was able to express myself, and I know that I missed a couple of steps that I had to say and that I had wrote for the script in this video. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much all of it. And yeah, I think that we can get out of whatever the procrastination style that we're in. And now I can say that at this moment I'm actually in control of what I'm doing. And I had let me also tell you something, that I have been procrastinating to post content on my YouTube channel since 2 years. So I've always wanted to be posting contents, creating contents, communicating with people, but this habit of procrastinating actually it didn't do good to what I wanted to do. So yeah, I think that we can do good. It's never late. Yep, you can always start to work on your habits. And yep, that's all for today, and I'd probably see you in the next video, probably, if I don't procrastinate it. Okay, that's all. Bye bye.